Welcome back to the Angel Clark Show. I have another police state story to share with you today. And this is the tale of Kevion Young. And he's 18 years old. He was with his family members in the garage of his uncle's home just after 9 p.m. 6 days ago. He stepped outside of the house to use the bathroom along the side of the house. Now, I know, right? Girls say, ew, but guys do that a lot. I can't tell you how many times I've been hanging out with friends and the guys walk like 10 feet away and turn away from everyone to use the bathroom, right? Especially at bonfires. And I'm like, there's a bathroom like 50 feet away right there inside the house, right? There's a bathroom right there. Nah, man, I'm just doing this. Okay, I'm just doing this. Too lazy to take the extra steps to go inside. I know, but guys do it all the time. So Kevion, he went to use the bathroom. And in less than 10 seconds, gunfire erupted outside his home. Just feet away from friends and family and an infant, by the way, and an infant. Now, Kevion didn't know what was happening. He didn't know what was going on. He says he was abruptly approached out of the darkness by men in plain clothes with guns. Without identifying themselves, they opened fire. So he dropped to the ground while being sprayed with bullets. He said he was trying to put his hands on his head, but they shot him in the leg. He couldn't even tell them who he was or what he was doing. They shot him in the leg. He says, I laid down because they were shooting. I couldn't do anything. I put my hands on top of my head. I could feel the bullet passing my head. I almost died. The house had bullet holes that were visible in it, along the side of the garage, and a truck parked in the driveway also had bullet holes in it. The neighbor's home was shot at least twice because there were some cops who were looking for a completely different person, a wanted suspect named Robert Pope. Now, I always thought that police were supposed to be trained to use guns properly, right? Aren't they supposed to aim before they shoot? Now, I would think you should talk to the person before you shoot as well, but aiming is a pretty big deal. We're kind of lucky that these cops had horrible aim, otherwise they would have killed Kevion. But they opened fire in a residential area within 10 seconds of seeing someone. They shot a neighbor's home at least twice. They shot a truck parked in the driveway. Obviously, their aim was not the best. Kevion was hospitalized for his gunshot wounds. He was discharged from the hospital the next day. He expected to go home, right? That's what you would expect, because you were not the person the cops were looking for. They shot you, and then they found out you weren't the person they were looking for. No. Kevion is being charged with, quote, assault on a peace officer with a deadly weapon. Police claim that after busting him, quote, sneaking through yards, he whipped out 2 knives and attempted to stab them. Does anyone else have a problem with cops calling themselves peace officers these days? Anyone? Because I don't think they're peace officers any longer. I think they're bullies. But they decided they were going to make up a story about Kevion in order to justify their shooting him. That's right, they found him sneaking through yards, even though he was on his family's property. He busted out 2 knives and attempted to stab them, even though his family said within 10 seconds of him leaving the garage, he was shot at. Kevion is now in jail. I didn't do anything wrong, he said. His uncle was present during the shooting. He was right there. He says he heard about 8 shots fired just seconds after Kevion left the garage. They reacted too quickly. They had the wrong house, the wrong people. Witnesses say they were positive police had not identified themselves before shooting. The first time they realized that they were cops was after they entered the garage and began to detain everyone. Every single person who was there was handcuffed and detained. They want to try to clean it up and make it as if the party that is injured is the guilty one, said another family member who was there. So, Kevion was spending time with his family and went outside to use the bathroom. Within 10 seconds, cops started shooting at him. They did not identify themselves. They were wearing plain clothes, meaning they weren't in police uniforms. And they started shooting almost instantly. They shot the house. They shot the neighbor's house. They shot a truck in the driveway. And they shot Kevion in the leg. Then they lied about it and said they caught him sneaking through yards. And when he got caught, he tried to stab them with 2 knives. This is just blatant lies. Obvious lies. And this is not okay. This is not acceptable. I had someone tell me that because I say negative things about police, I don't believe in personal accountability, being responsible for your own actions. My response is, I believe in personal responsibility and accountability so much that I believe everyone should be held accountable for their own actions, whether they have a badge and a gun or not. I believe that police should be responsible when they do something like this. When they shoot an innocent bystander in the leg and then lie about what happened. And you know that the cops who were there, who blatantly lied about this, nothing's ever going to happen to them. Not a thing. Because cops don't get held responsible for their actions. The Angel Clark Show will return.
But we see liberty under threat, we see sovereignty under threat, and we must respond.
This is the Angel Clark Show.